Welcome to free online classes of physics with Lambor sir. So dear students, we learn the concept of electric lines of force, and at the end of that concept we studied two important definitions. First one is the electric flux density and second one is the electric flux. And we come to know that electric flux density or electric flux are the number of lines of force, number of electric lines of force. But if that number is passing normally through unit area, then it gives electric flux density at that point. And if that number of electric lines of force are passing normally through given surface area, then it gives electric flux through that area. So these are the two important concepts that we have discussed in the last lecture. So once again, we will revise both the definitions here by using one diagram. So in this diagram, charge plus Q we have considered placed at point O, and this charge produces electric field in the surrounding space, and the pictorial representation of that electric field is by electric lines of force. So these are the electric lines of force of that electric field produced by this charge. And from that charge, we have considered point P at distance r. And this point P is in the electric field produced by this charge. And electric field intensity at point P is E along this direction away from this charge. And if we want to know electric flux density at point P, then according to definition, what is the electric flux density at any point in the electric field? Is the number of electric lines of force passing normally through unit area drawn around that point. Means we have to draw unit area around point P, and then to that unit area we have to consider one normal, and we want to know the electric lines of force, the number of electric lines of force which are passing along that normal. That number through unit area around the point P gives electric flux density at that point. So we know that electric flux density at a given point in an electric field is the number of electric lines of force passing normally through unit area drawn around that point. And if we want to know electric flux density at point P, then we have to consider unit area around the point P. And through that unit area, we must know the number of lines of force passing normally through that unit area. That number of lines of force gives electric flux density at point P, which is also called as electric field intensity at point P. So in this diagram, electric flux density at point P is equal to E cos theta. Why here E cos theta? Because in this diagram, the normal at point P makes an angle theta with the direction of electric field intensity. Means electric lines of force are not perpendicular to the normal, or not along the normal drawn to the area at point P. So we have to draw normal or perpendicular to area around point P, and we want to find the number of lines of force which are passing along this normal. That number we want to calculate. For that purpose, we have drawn perpendicular to this normal and we find component of electric field intensity along the normal, which we give E cos theta. So E cos theta is the number of electric lines of force which are passing along this normal through the unit area around point P. That's why electric flux density at point P is E cos theta that we have written. And if this theta is 0 means normal to the unit area, normal drawn to the unit area is in the direction of electric field intensity. If this theta is 0, then cos theta will become 1. That time electric flux density at point P will become only E. See here. Therefore, electric flux density at point P will be E, which is nothing but electric field intensity at point P. So thus we get the meaning of electric flux density or electric field intensity at any point in the field. It gives the number of electric lines of force passing normally through unit area drawn around that point. या डायग्राम मध्ये दाखवलेल्याप्रमाणे हा थीटा जर 0 असेल म्हणजेच युनिट एरियाला ड्रॉ केलेला नॉर्मल is in the direction of electric field intensity. Then we get electric flux density at point P equal to E. Means we call as electric flux density is nothing but electric field intensity at a point in the field, which gives us the number of lines of force passing normally through unit area around that point. Now we will learn about the concept electric flux. So what is that electric flux? Here we have considered small area ds. This is the total large surface area. Yes is the large surface area, and that surface area is in the electric field produced by this charge. And out of that surface area we have considered small surface area element ds around point P. Then electric flux over area ds or through area ds, according to definition of electric flux gives us the total number of electric lines of force passing normally through given surface area. So this is our given surface area ds, and we want to find total number of electric lines of force passing normally through this area. Then this is the normal drawn to area ds at point P. Means we want the lines of force which are passing along this normal. So this number is nothing but E cos theta, because what is E? These are the electric lines of force passing normally through unit area drawn around that point. So we want the component of electric field intensity along the normal, which is E cos theta. So E cos theta gives us the number of electric lines of force passing normally through unit area around point P. But area around point P is ds we have considered. So if we want to find electric flux over area ds, then we have to multiply electric flux through unit area multiplied by given area. So we will get here electric flux through area ds is equal to E cos theta into ds. What is that E cos theta? This is the electric flux density or electric field intensity, you can say. This is the electric flux density at point P. What is that? This is the number of electric lines of force passing normally through unit area multiplied by given area gives us electric flux through area ds. And if this product, this multiplication can be expressed as a scalar product like this. See here, electric flux through area ds equal to E bar dot ds bar. So this is the electric flux through the small area element of the surface S. If we want electric flux through over the entire surface area S, we can also calculate that. See here, electric flux over entire surface area. This is the entire surface area. त्यातील आपण एक स्मॉल सरफेस एरिया पी पॉइंट भोवती घेतलेला आहे आणि या स्मॉल सरफेस एरियाचं इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स इक्वेशन 1 ना आपल्याला दिलेलं आहे. वी वॉन्ट total electric flux over the surface area S. That can be obtained, that can be calculated by integrating equation 1. So it is given by the equation, see there, phi over the whole surface. That means total electric flux over the entire surface area. This is the entire surface area. That is equal to phi S. S is the entire surface area. Is equal to integration E bar dot ds bar. And E bar dot ds bar is the electric flux over area ds. आणि या इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्सची आपल्याला ऍडिशन करावी लागेल आणि ती ऍडिशन आपण इंटिग्रेशन न केलेली आहे. सो इन दिस वे वी कॅन कॅल्क्युलेट इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स थ्रू एनी गिव्हन सरफेस एरिया which is present in the electric field. So these are the two important concepts and definitions that we learned in the last lecture. So let us learn one more important law in electrostatics, which is Gauss law of electrostatics. So what is that Gauss law? We will try to understand first. So Carl Friedrich Gauss, one of the greatest mathematicians of all times, formulated a law expressing the relation between electric charge and its electric field, and that law is called as the Gauss law. So Gauss law is formulated by Carl Friedrich Gauss, one of the greatest mathematician of all times, and he formulated the relationship between electric charge and its electric field. We know that any charge produces electric field in the surrounding space. Then that electric charge and produced electric field, the relation between them is formulated by Carl Friedrich Gauss. That's why that relation is called as a Gauss law. And this Gauss law is analogous to Coulomb's law. We have learned that Coulomb's law in electrostatics. So Gauss law is what gives the relationship between electric charge and its electric field. This Gauss law is analogous, similar to Coulomb's law in the sense that it too expresses, that means Coulomb's law also expresses the relationship between electric charge and electric field. That's why Gauss law and Coulomb's law are analogous law. Both are expressing the relationship between electric charge and electric field. And using Gauss law, this Gauss law provides equivalent method. Gauss law is providing equivalent method for finding electric field intensity produced by different charged objects. Maybe spherical charged object, cylindrical charged object, plane sheet, charged plane sheet, charged object of any shape. Due to that, electric field will be produced. Charged objects ने जे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड प्रोड्यूस केलं असेल त्या इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड मधील एखाद्या पॉइंट जवळची इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेन्सिटी फाइंड करण्यासाठी we are using this Gauss law. That's why we have written here Gauss law provides equivalent method for finding electric field intensity produced by different charged bodies or objects. This Gauss law relates values of electric field at a closed surface and the total charges enclosed by that closed surface. म्हणजे in case of Gauss law, we are considering a closed surface enclosing electric charges, and that all charges will produce net electric field. Then the values of that electric field and total charges enclosed by that closed surface are related by this Gauss law. This Gauss law is applicable to any closed surface of regular or irregular shape. म्हणजे ज्या क्लोज्ड सरफेसने चार्जेस इनक्लोज केले असतील ते क्लोज्ड सरफेस रेग्युलर शेपचे असतील किंवा इररेग्युलर शेपचे असतील, त्या इनक्लोज्ड चार्जेसनी प्रोड्यूस केलेलं नेट इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड आणि इनक्लोज्ड चार्जेस यांच्यामधलं रिलेशन is given by this law, which is called as Gauss law. So let us learn Gauss law of electrostatics. First of all, we will go through the statement of that Gauss law. The statement of Gauss law is quite simple, quite easy. See here, electric flux of net electric field through a closed surface is equal to the net charge enclosed by that closed surface divided by epsilon 0. And that epsilon 0 we know, we studied in this topic 3-4 lectures before. This epsilon 0 is the permittivity, constant of permittivity of free space, vacuum or air, and its value is 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12 Newton meter square per Coulomb square. So what that Gauss law states? Gauss law states that electric flux through a closed surface is equal to the net charge enclosed by that closed surface divided by epsilon 0. This electric flux is of net electric field. Okay, and that net electric field will be produced by total charges enclosed by the closed surface. So the electric flux of net electric field through a closed surface, म्हणजे closed surface ना total charges enclose केलेले आहेत आणि त्या चार्जेस न प्रोड्यूस केलेलं नेट इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड, त्या इलेक्ट्रिक फील्डचं इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स. And we know that electric flux we have studied. What is that? Total number of electric lines of force passing normally through given surface area gives electric flux through that area. And that electric flux of net electric field through a closed surface, तो क्लोज्ड सरफेस एनी शेपचा असेल, रेग्युलर असेल, इरेग्युलर शेपचा असेल, is equal to the net charge enclosed by the closed surface divided by epsilon 0. The statement of Gauss law can be mathematically expressed like this. We are getting the total flux through a closed surface of any shape, and that total flux through a closed surface of any shape is equal to net charge enclosed by the closed surface divided by epsilon 0. So the total flux, we can write this mathematically like this. See here, this is the total flux through the closed surface, yes, is equal to integration of the electric flux through the small surface is equal to Q upon epsilon 0. What is that Q? This Q is the total charge enclosed by that closed surface. And what is epsilon 0? Epsilon 0 is the permittivity of free space, vacuum or air. And its value we know. So this is mathematical statement of Gauss law. What it gives? The electric flux through a closed surface of any shape is equal to net charge enclosed by that closed surface divided by epsilon 0. Very simple mathematical statement. The meaning of mathematical statement is what? What is this? This is the total electric flux through a closed surface of any shape which is equal to net charge enclosed by that closed surface divided by epsilon 0. We will prove this Gauss law. So in order to prove the Gauss law, we will consider closed surface of any shape. Closed surface of any shape. Regular shapes are cell, irregular shapes are cell. Closed surface of any shape which encloses number of positive electric charges. Means by this closed surface, number of positive electric charges are enclosed. We can see that closed surface like this. See here. This is the closed surface and it is denoted by capital S. This is the closed surface and this closed surface encloses number of positive electric charges. Okay. Now, out of that number of positive electric charges, we have considered here charge plus Q, which is present at point O inside the closed surface. See here, we have considered a small charge plus Q, number of positive charges inside the closed surface आहे तसा आपण imagine केलेला आहे. त्यातील एक small charge plus Q present at point O inside the closed surface that we have imagined. Now here P P is any point on the surface, on the closed surface, which is at distance r from point O or from this charge. So P is point on closed surface. P be any point on closed surface whose distance from the point O or from this charge is r. Now we will imagine infinitesimal area element ds of this closed surface around point P. See here. So imagine infinitesimal area ds of the given closed surface. या closed surface very small area element ds आपण imagine केलंय around the point P. आणि हे area element ds is also at distance r from the point O. Now we will draw normal to area ds at point P. See here, draw normal to area ds at point P. P point जवळ area ds ला आपण नॉर्मल ड्रॉ करूया आणि तो नॉर्मल म्हणजे या एरोच्या डायरेक्शनला आहे. And this normal makes angle theta with the direction of electric field intensity. म्हणजे हा जो चार्ज प्लस Q आपण कन्सिडर केलेला आहे O पॉइंट जवळ, या चार्जनं सराउंडिंग स्पेस मध्ये इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड प्रोड्यूस केलेला आहे. त्या इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड मध्ये हा क्लोज्ड सरफेस ऑफ एनी शेप आहे. त्याचबरोबर P पॉइंट जो आहे तो P पॉइंट क्लोज्ड सरफेस वर आहे at distance r from the given charge. P point is also in the electric field. Then electric field intensity at point P is directed along this direction. This is the direction of electric field intensity at point P. And normal drawn to area ds at point P is along this direction. So there is the angle between normal and direction of electric field intensity at point P. So let us write few physical quantities. See here, E, electric field intensity at point P. Now ds is what? Infinitesimal area element of the given closed surface around the point P. Now what is R? Distance of point P from charge Q. We can also say that R is the distance of area element ds from charge Q or from point O. And this theta, what is that theta? This is the angle between normal drawn to area ds at point P and direction of electric field intensity. So theta gives the angle between normal to area ds and direction of electric field intensity. So these are the few physical quantities required for the proof of Gauss law. So let us further discuss regarding, we want to find magnitude of electric field intensity at point P due to charge Q. Then P point is at distance r from this charge. And we have find the expression for magnitude of electric field intensity at a distance r from charge Q in a medium of dielectric or in free space air or vacuum. What is that expression? See here. E equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0 Q upon R square. So this is expression for magnitude of electric field intensity at a distance r from charge Q in medium of permittivity epsilon 0. And its expression is given in equation 1. As this charge is positive, हा गिव्हन चार्ज आपण पॉझिटिव्ह कन्सिडर केल्यामुळं इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेन्सिटीची जी डायरेक्शन आहे टी पॉइंट जवळची, ती इलेक्ट्रिक इंटेन्सिटीची डायरेक्शन विल बी आउटवर्ड अवे फ्रॉम द चार्ज. That means it will be directed away from point O. You can see the direction of electric field intensity away from this charge or away from point O. So the direction of E is away from point O or away from the given charge. It is outward. Okay. Now from this figure, we will find component of electric field intensity along the normal, because we want number of lines of force passing normally through this area, small area. That's why we are finding component of electric field intensity along this normal. And to find that component, we will draw perpendicular to the normal. From the electric field, from this arrow, we will draw the perpendicular on the normal, and the adjacent side of this triangle gives us E cos theta, which is nothing but component of electric field intensity along the normal to area ds at point P. So from figure, component of electric field intensity along normal to area ds is equal to E cos theta. So these are nothing but number of electric lines of force passing normally through unit area at point P. म्हणजे P पॉइंटच्या भोवती युनिट एरिया मधून नॉर्मलच्या डायरेक्शनला जाणाऱ्या लाइन्स ऑफ फोर्सचा नंबर इज नथिंग बट E cos theta. So using this value we can find electric flux through area ds. या ds एरियाचं इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स काढायचं असेल तर युनिट एरिया मधून नॉर्मली पास होणाऱ्या लाइन्स ऑफ फोर्सचा नंबर आपल्याला मिळालेला आहे, याला फक्त एरिया ds न मल्टिप्लाय करायचं. We will get electric flux through area ds. See here, this is the d phi. Electric flux through area ds is equal to E cos theta into ds. E cos theta is nothing but number of lines of force passing normally through unit area around the point P multiplied by ds. But we know that the value of E is in equation 1. Equation 1 मधून E ची व्हॅल्यू आपण सबस्टिट्यूट करू शकतो 1/4πε0 into q upon r square and remaining terms cos theta into ds. ह्या इक्वेशनला आपण रिअरेंज करून या पद्धतीने लिहू शकतो. सी हिअर q upon 4πε0 आणि हे ds cos theta divided by r square दुसऱ्या ब्रॅकेटमध्ये लिहिलंय. युजिंग इक्वेशन 1 म्हणजे इक्वेशन 1 चा यूज आपण इथं केलेला आहे. Replacing the value of E by this bracket. But this ratio ds cos theta upon r square, what is that? See here, ds cos theta upon r square is equal to d omega, and that d omega gives us solid angle subtended by area ds at point O. या डायग्राम मध्ये जरा लक्ष द्या. In this diagram, area element ds subtends angle d omega at point O, and this angle is nothing but solid angle. We have learned that in the first chapter. Measurement, units and measurement या चॅप्टर मध्ये तुम्ही प्लेन अँगल आणि सॉलिड अँगल हे दोन कन्सेप्ट स्टडी केलेले आहात. त्यातीलच सॉलिड अँगल हा कन्सेप्ट इथे यूज होतोय. So area element ds subtends angle d omega at point O, and that solid angle is given by ds cos theta upon r square. So if you substitute the value of d omega in this equation, the equation will change its form. Means we will get electric flux through area ds like this. This is the electric flux through area ds is equal to q upon 4πε0 into d omega. This is your equation 2. We want total electric flux through the entire closed surface S. For that purpose, we will integrate equation 1. By integrating equation 1, we will get total electric flux through the entire closed surface. See, total electric flux passing through entire closed surface can be obtained by integrating equation 2 like this. So integration of d phi is the electric flux through area ds. Integration E bar dot ds bar, that's equal to integration q upon 4πε0 into d omega. We can take outside this bracket as it is constant. So writing total electric flux passing through this entire closed surface phi E is equal to q upon 4πε0 constant term असल्यामुळे आपण outside ला घेतली, and integration of dw. What is that dw? dw is the solid angle subtended by this area element ds at point O. Then integration of dw, what will give? This will give solid angle subtended by entire closed surface at point O. And its value, we know it. But integration dw is equal to 4 pi. And what it gives? Solid angle subtended by entire closed surface at point O. And we will substitute the integration dw is equal to 4 pi in equation 3. See here. Total electric flux through entire closed surface. This is the entire closed surface. यातून पास होणारं टोटल इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स आपल्याला इक्वेशन 3 मध्ये इंटिग्रेशन dw ची व्हॅल्यू 4 पाय सबस्टिट्यूट करून मिळेल. सी हियर. Total electric flux through entire closed surface is equal to integration E bar dot ds bar is equal to q upon 4 pi epsilon 0 into 4 pi. If we simplify here, 4 pi cancels to 4 pi, remains only q upon epsilon 0. Why plus sign here? Because inside the closed surface, we have considered plus q charge is present at point O. That's why the plus sign is written. So this equation 4 gives us total electric flux passing through the closed surface which encloses charge plus q at point O. And this equation 4 is true for every electric charge enclosed by given closed surface. म्हणजे प्रेझेंटली आपण इमॅजिन केलं होतं inside that closed surface plus q charge is present at point O, and due to that charge the total electric flux through this closed surface we are getting equal to q upon epsilon 0. And this equation is true for every electric charge enclosed by this given closed surface. So we will find total electric flux through closed surface for each electric charge present inside the closed surface. See here now, total flux due to charge q1 over the closed surface. Using equation 4 we can write plus q1 upon epsilon 0, कारण आपण सगळे चार्जेस पॉझिटिव्ह इलेक्ट्रिक चार्जेस या सरफेसने इनक्लोज केलेले आहेत असं कन्सिडर केलेलं आहे सुरुवातीलाच. त्याचबरोबर टोटल फ्लक्स ड्यू टू चार्ज q2 over the closed surface, that is equal to q2 upon epsilon 0. We can proceed for charge q3, we can proceed for charge q4, and we will proceed for the nth charge. Therefore, total flux due to charge qn over the closed surface is equal to plus qn upon epsilon 0. Now, here we will apply the principle of superposition. According to the superposition principle, total electric flux due to all charges enclosed by the closed surface. We can add the electric flux due to individual charges. See here. This is the total electric flux over the closed surface through the closed surface is equal to sum of electric flux due to individual charges. And that is written as summation I goes from 1 to n qi upon epsilon 0. And if we do the addition of all charges, we will get q, capital Q upon epsilon 0. And this capital Q is what? Total charge enclosed by this closed surface. So in this way, here we prove the Gauss law of electrostatics. What it says? It says that total flux through closed surface of any shape is equal to net charge enclosed by that closed surface divided by epsilon 0. So in this way we can prove the Gauss law of electrostatics. So regarding that Gauss law, we have few more statements to understand. If the charge inside the closed surface is positive, या क्लोज्ड सरफेसच्या इनसाइडचा चार्ज हा पॉझिटिव्ह असेल, then this electric flux will be directed away from the charge, that means outward. See here, if the charge is positive, inside the closed surface charge positive असेल, the electric flux is directed outward, means away from the charge. आणि तोच चार्ज क्लोज सरफेसच्या इनसाइडचा निगेटिव्ह असेल तर हे जे टोटल इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स आहे that will be directed inward, that means towards the charge. If the charge is negative, the electric flux is directed inward, that means towards the charge. One more important statement we have to understand here. If this charge is outside the closed surface, presently this charge is at point O inside the closed surface. That's why we are getting the total electric flux through the closed surface equal to Q upon epsilon 0. Total charge upon epsilon 0. If the charge is outside the closed surface, then what will be the total electric flux through the closed surface? We will get zero electric flux through the closed surface, because according to Gauss law, what it says, electric flux through a closed surface equal to net charge enclosed by that closed surface divided by epsilon 0. And we are considering here the charge is outside the closed surface. मग charge closed surface च्या outside ला असेल तर inside चा charge 0. So 0 upon epsilon 0, you will get total electric flux through the closed surface equal to 0. This is the important condition we have mentioned here. If charge is outside the closed surface, म्हणजे inside closed surface च्या inside ला chargeच नाही, तो चार्ज क्लोज सरफेसच्या आउटसाइडला असेल, then net flux, total electric flux through that closed surface will be 0. So in this way, we can understand, we can state and prove the Gauss law of electrostatics. Now, we will try to find what is actually Gauss law. So from this discussion, we come to know that Gauss law gives the relation between electric charge and electric field produced by that charges. Gauss law relates the electric field at closed surface and the total charges enclosed by that closed surface. And from that Gauss law, we get total electric flux through a closed surface. And that total electric flux through a closed surface is equal to net charge enclosed by that closed surface divided by epsilon 0. So Gauss law, in simple way, we can represent diagrammatically like this. See here. What is phi? This is the total electric flux through a closed surface is equal to, what is Q? This is the enclosed charge, net enclosed charge by the closed surface divided by epsilon 0. What is that epsilon 0? Permittivity of free space, vacuum or air. आणि त्याची व्हॅल्यू 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12 Newton meter square per coulomb square. And this Q is the net enclosed charge by the closed surface measured in coulomb. And this electric flux, total electric flux, we know that electric flux has unit voltmeter. Instead of, we can write here Newton meter square per coulomb, because electric flux is the multiplication of E into ds. Then that E, electric field intensity, has two units, Newton per coulomb and Volt per meter. If we use Volt per meter, then electric flux will be voltmeter. SI unit of electric flux will be voltmeter. And if we use unit Newton per coulomb, then electric flux SI unit will be Newton meter square per coulomb. So this is how simply Gauss law of electrostatics can be represented diagrammatically. So phi equal to Q upon epsilon 0. What is that phi? The total electric flux through a closed surface of any cell is equal to net charge enclosed by that closed surface divided by epsilon 0. Now here we will learn one more result. What is that? This electric flux is independent of shape and size of closed surface. म्हणजे ज्या क्लोज्ड सरफेसनं चार्जेस इनक्लोज केलेले आहेत, त्या क्लोज्ड सरफेस मधून पास होणार जे काही टोटल इलेक्ट्रिक फ्लक्स आहे, that electric flux is independent of shape and size of closed surface. We will explain this. See here, total electric flux through a closed surface of any shape, गॉस लॉच्या मदतीने आपण असं लिहू शकता, phi E, this is the total electric flux through a closed surface, is equal to net charge enclosed by that closed surface divided by epsilon 0. And this is the electric flux through area ds, and its integration gives us total electric flux through closed surface. Here we will consider charge plus q, of course positive charge, at the center of concentric spheres. Here we have considered two concentric spheres. See here, first sphere is of radius r1, second sphere is of radius r2, and at their center the charge plus q is kept. त्यामुळे या चार्जचं जे इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड आहे, that electric field will be directed outward, and electric lines of force for that electric field will be these arrows. These are the arrows which are electric lines of force or field lines directed outward. Then as the charge inside the sphere is unchanged, हे जे दोन्हीही स्पियर आहेत, R1 रेडियसचा स्पियर, R2 रेडियसचा स्पियर, दोन्हीही स्पियरच्या इनसाइडचा चार्ज जो आहे अनचेंज्ड आहे, आपण तो चार्ज बदलणार नाही. देन फ्लक्स पासिंग थ्रू सरफेस ऑफ एनी रेडियस, मग R1 रेडियसचा स्पियर असेल, R2 रेडियसचा स्पियर असेल, किंवा याच्यापेक्षा अजून जास्त रेडियसचे स्पियर जरी तुम्ही घेतला तरी देखील flux passing through sphere of any radius is the same, because total flux is equal to charge upon epsilon 0. यातील epsilon 0 तर कॉन्स्टंट, मग सेंटरचा चार्जच आपण बदलणार नसेल तर R1 स्पियर मधून, R1 रेडियसच्या स्पियर मधून जाणारं फ्लक्स, R2 रेडियसच्या स्पियर मधून जाणारा फ्लक्स, किंवा यापेक्षा अजून जास्त रेडियसच्या स्पियर मधून जाणारा फ्लक्स will be the same. That's why we can say that hence total flux is independent of shape and size of closed surface. आता समजा आपण या ठिकाणी जो स्पियर R1 रेडियसचा आहे याची रेडियस डबल केली. If the radius of that sphere is doubled, then also flux passing through the surface remains unchanged. What is the reason? Because charge enclosed by each sphere is same, and that charge is unchanged. That's why flux passing through sphere of any radius is the same. And last statement इथं आपण लक्षात ठेवायला पाहिजे, आपण जे क्लोज्ड सरफेसेस घेतलेले आहेत ज्यांनी चार्जेसना इनक्लोज केलेले आहे, इथं आपण क्लोज्ड सरफेस म्हणतोय, which encloses the electric charges. That closed surface may be of any shape, regular or irregular shape. That closed surface is called as a Gaussian surface. See here, the surface enclosing electric charges may be regular or irregular, which encloses electric charges, is called Gaussian surface. So this is about the Gauss law of electrostatics. So with this, we are ending this lecture.